Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today it's another save file video. So we will start off with the creating portion of this and then the exterior of her home. And then in a separate video I will also show the speed build and voiceover of the interior of her home. It's not a big one, it is just a small one. She does live in Willow Creek. I've forgotten the name of the lot. The very top one in like the cheaper neighbourhood. I've popped her there. So she's a single elderly lady called Dorris Lister. She was married, he tragically died, and she lost the love of her life. So now she lives alone. She loves gardening, she tends to her garden all the time, she loves being outdoors, but she also likes spying on the neighbours, let's be honest. That's why she likes being outdoors. She's at the pinnacle point of the village, of the town, and she likes to watch everybody else go about the business and be nosy, basically. But on the exterior, I wanted her to seem like this cute little old lady who could do no wrong. So that's kind of the vibe of her outfits, of her hair, of the way she like portrays herself. So I wanted that to come across very clearly. Now, throughout this video, you'll see a Sims delivery pop up in the top screen. So she doesn't have any of the new wrinkles or skin marks because I filmed this yesterday. So I filmed it just before the update happened, and then I got notified about the update. So I will probably edit her and just add a few more wrinkles here and there, a couple of dark spots maybe, and sort of edit her a little bit in that way. But for the most part she's done, so I thought I would still make sure this was uploaded. So as you can see, I'm just working through her looks. Like I say, I wanted her to look quite cute. I kept faffing and figuring out whether or not I wanted a necklace on her because I feel like she needed it, but also I couldn't fit one that actually looked right. So again, I wanted to have this like cutesy, old-timey vibe. Could never hurt a fly. She loves to be gardening and potting her plants and tending to her bees. And that's the kind of vibe that she's got. So the lore here is that she and her husband never had children. He was a fisherman and he used to work on the fishing boats quite late on, and he'd stay out for a long time. So most of the time she was on her own. But when he was home, they never really spent too much time together. Although everyone in the neighbourhood assumed that they were like inseparable and perfection. And that's the way that Dorris wanted it, to be fair. But anyway, so her and her husband have the best relationship, but he used to be out on the fishing boats a lot and only came home every so often. So really, realistically, they never had children. They never got to that stage in their lives. So now she lives alone and she doesn't have any family in the general area. So she kind of sees the neighbours as her family, which I think in turn makes her think like she gets to know everything because she is the grandmother of the town. But as you can imagine, that does irritate some of the locals. But she has a lot of mysteries surrounding her. But you wouldn't know it just by looking at her, and that's the vibe that I wanted. So she's really cute. Her house is just a simple one bed, gorgeous little tiny house, and that's the kind of vibe that I wanted. I wanted this scarf on her so bad. I was like, actually, gorgeous, but I need to change the colour of the dress, so I did. This is sped through quite a lot, but I didn't want to bog down too much on the create a sim portion. I just wanted you to be able to see the sim that I created and see that process a little bit of me actually creating it, as opposed to just the house that she lives in. Like I said, she will be in my save file, and I wanted just a break away from having to do like the intricate, more detailed mansion build that's in the save file. I wanted something small and simple. So yeah, this is the last outfit. Obviously it's cold weather, so shortly we will be popping over into build mode, where you will see which lot I mean, but also see the vibe of her little tiny one bed house. I tried to go with that sort of shotgun feel, so you will get that vibe, kind of similar to the house that was here originally, from what I remember, because this save file is the empty save file that you can download, so I can't fully remember what's in each of them. This is basically just a simple, easy shotgun style home. I struggled a little bit with the floor plan at first, but then realised exactly what I wanted to do. The exterior of this house is very, very white. There is a lot of white. There's a lot of like brightness. Again, cheery. And I think that's the kind of vibe that I was trying to give off with her. Like I say, that she's very cutesy and can do no wrong and everything she does is brilliant. So she's got this perfect white panelled house and this manicured garden with seating for many and stuff like that. So I wanted that kind of vibe to come across. Hopefully I achieved it. I feel quite proud of this one. It is only a small build. It's nothing like major, but I was still really proud about how it turned out. And I think I did a really, really good job to encapsulate it. And in the end, with the doors and windows, I used the for rent stuff because I actually quite liked the vibe of them. And the thought process for the town is that the aesthetics wise, like the style of home, the windows, the doors, all of that kind of thing, I'm going to keep the same for every house that's in the neighbourhood, unless there's law behind it not being. Just so it shows that this is like that old kind of vibe of town and everyone's got the same sort of house. They've all got different lives, but they've all got the same sort of vibe of home. So I did the floor plan a little just so I knew where to put the windows and stuff, but I don't go into the interior in this video, just the exterior. I wanted to get that down, and because she's a gardener and that's sort of the thought process that I have for her, I wanted to make that apparent out in the garden. I wanted this to give her like planter boxes and a chill vibe outside, somewhere she can sit, somewhere she can grill, somewhere she can do things. That's what I kind of wanted for it. Again, I use the for rent fence, which I never use, but actually it's really nice, and it reminds me of my nanny's old like walls that were around her house and other houses like in the area and the flat that we used to live in. So it's like that with them like holes on. So it reminded me of that. So I think that's what persuaded me. This is me trying to figure out terrain paint for the bath. I ended up with the first one. Most of the time I struggle with terrain paint and stuff, but I had a lot of fun with this. And the sped upness makes me look like I did that perfect first time. But I just wanted to go with the flow and do what I thought was best and sort of feel good about what I was doing. So I just sort of sat down, did it while we were playing. I think it took me like maybe a couple of hours for the whole thing, like outside and inside, because I sat down and recorded all of it all at once, but I've sort of split it up for you guys, so the video's not too long. But I wanted to give that like flowery, gorgeous vibe, and that's why I've sort of done like all these flowers. I wanted there to be loads of colours. Them sunflowers, I never use the sunflowers, but in my brain I'm like, she would definitely have a sunflower in a garden. So I actually give her two. This plant, never use it. I've got it out because I so badly wanted to use it, never use it. I don't even use it in the back, to be fair. So I don't know why I chose not to, but in the end I didn't use it. Yeah, so I wanted them flowers and stuff to be sort of apparent. She clearly tends to that garden, even though obviously it's not a tendable garden. I wanted it to give that vibe. Here I just wanted her to have a little bench that she can sit out on and read and listen to her neighbours' lives. So in the end I do go with the bench that I have in front of me. I think it might be from the new pack from the fairy one, but I thought it was really, really cute, and it's just simple, and that's the kind of vibe I wanted. And then I knew I wanted a fountain here. I think in the end I combined two different ones because the one I want to use from Love Struck, I believe, I realised once I placed it the water goes over the side and it's just an emitter. So I made sure that I put like a base on there first, which is what you can see, the circle part that you can see, and then I put it inside it. Hopefully that looks right. It seemed to look right to me. If you don't like it, you just remove it. But to me, I was like, oh no, that makes sense. So I wanted to have like a back door so she can get out into like a back garden, not just from going out the front door. So I put that on the corridor, which is part of the reason why I did the hallway style of the house, the shotgun style, instead of putting the bedroom all the way at the back, because I wanted her to have a back door to be able to get out into the back garden. Yeah, so basically in this back bit, I knew that I needed an area for her to do her planting, and I knew that I needed an area for her to sit and chill. So I decided to do sort of this paving area, and in the end it worked out really well because the planter boxes fit perfectly in these little rectangle spaces, and I didn't plan it because I didn't have the grid on, as you can see. but they fit perfectly in that little area. And then I realised that to put the sprinklers in, which I so desperately was searching for ages, in order to put them in, I had to put the foundation down, which I do forget about for a little bit, and then it comes back to me. So I do put the foundation back, but it doesn't, I look like I've forgotten, which I did. I did forget, I'm not going to lie. And she's got some bees and a flowering table. I figured that she would make like bouquets and sell them. That would kind of be her way of making money. And as opposed to anything else. I don't think she'd be in the gardening career because she's retired. She doesn't have a lot of money in her household funds after I finish this. I think I set her to having like $12.50 or something. Because I don't see her as being like a mega rich person on the surface. So as I was building this, her story sort of came into my brain. So she does have a little bit of a tricky story, but I'm not going to reveal that too much. It might come in a little bit of a secret later on. But yeah, she has a certain past, and I wanted the sort of cookie cutter lifestyle to show front, but for the most part, she's just a bit dodgy. So I put these planters on here just to make it look a bit fuller. I don't think that table's full enough, to be quite honest. And then back here, all I end up putting is like a grill, which is just one of the simple ones that look a bit retro. I thought that would fit her vibe quite well. And then a table with several chairs on it. And then a few plants, potted plants everywhere, and a rocking chair on the front porch, I believe. That's sort of all I put in there. I didn't want it to be too cluttered, but I also wanted it to have in it what I expected her to have in her garden. And I knew she would have that sit down space, that chill space. The bench is sort of her relaxing space to spy, so is a rocking chair. But this is sort of if she has people over and she's eating and she has the neighbourhood around to spy in person, in her own garden. But I thought that was quite a cute little idea. I think when I put this up on the save file, I will make sure that there's plants in those planters. But we are coming to the end. I do just put some lights everywhere in nighttime mode, so I know that it's well lit. A few in the flower beds, a few on the walls. And then, like I say, a rocking chair on the front porch with just a table with it and a book. And then a couple of potted plants everywhere. And that's it, really. That's all I do for the exterior. I hope you guys like this. I hope you also enjoyed the interior video that I've got coming for you as well. They will be uploaded at the same time, but I just wanted to split them separately so that it wasn't too overwhelming in one video. And I hope you like it. This is the kind of vibe you can expect from my save file builds. I think it will from now on definitely be in this kind of mode. But yeah, I hope you really enjoy it. I did start to take screenshots and then realised I didn't have a back door. So then I went back and did the back door. But I hope you really liked it. I hope you enjoy the interior. I hope you enjoy Dorris's story. And yeah, please like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. And I will see you in the next video where we will tackle the interior of Dorris's tiny home. Love you all. Thank you all. See you all soon.